Hi, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. This is your Am. Gagawa naman po ulit tayo ng video in mathematics in the modern world. So our topic is mathematical reasoning. So ano ba ang itulong ng reasoning sa atin? Or mathematical reasoning? So mathematical reasoning help us to determine whether a mathematical argument is correct or incorrect. Or simply it help us make decisions. So what is reasoning? So reasoning is the process of drawing conclusions or inferences from facts or premises. Logic and reasoning are associated to problem solving and critical thinking. And reasoning will be helpful in evaluating situations, selecting problem solving strategies, drawing logical conclusions, developing and describing and applying the solutions. So meron pong dalawang uri ng reasoning. So, inductive and deductive reasoning po. So, these are the two types of reasoning. So, dito muna tayo sa inductive reasoning. So, inductive reasoning is the process of reaching a general conclusion by examining a specific example. Or simply, inductive reasoning is from specific to general. So, parang ganito. Example is meron tayo ditong box. So, ang laman po ng box na to is mga bola. Okay? Then, first kuha tayo ng bola. So, first pick, ang nakuha po natin is red ball. So, second pick, nakuha po ulit natin ay red ball. So, pwede tayo mag-conclude na yung laman ng box na to, yung bola po ay lahat kulay pula. So that is inductive reasoning. So it uses patterns, trends, or observations. So inductive reasoning is judging by experience. So the conclusion formed using inductive reasoning is called conjecture, which may not be true because the ideas are based on incomplete information. So yung ginawa po natin na conclusion or the conjecture nga ay posible po maging false yung mga ginawa natin nga na statement because the ideas are based on incomplete information. Nag-base lang po tayo sa mga examples or patterns. So, let's have example 1, number 1 sa inductive reasoning. So, use inductive reasoning to predict the next number. So, we have 4, 8, 12, 16. So, pinapahanap is yung next number. So, kung makita nyo dito, based tayo sa binigay na numbers, so, kung mahalata nyo is nag-add lang siya ng 4. So, 4 plus 4 is 8. So, 4. So, 8 plus 4 is 12. So, 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. So, pwede tayo mag-conclude. So, mag-add tayo ng 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. So, ayan. So, pwede tayo mag-conclude na ayan, or our conjecture, the next number identified by adding 4 to the preceding number. Thus, the next number will be 20. So, ayan. Next number po ay 20. Sample number 2. Use inductive reasoning to predict the next number. So, we have 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So, find or predict the next number. So, mag-base tayo dito sa binigay na sequence. So, meron dito, kumalata mo is merong pattern. So, yung difference neto is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Ito, 6 minus 3 is 3. 10 and 6 is 4. 5 and 15 and 10 is 5. So, mahalata mo is merong pattern. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, pwede tayo mag-conclude na 6 po to. Yung next na difference netong dalawang number. So, 15 plus 6 is 21. So, ayan. So, our conjecture, the difference between consecutive numbers is 1 more than the preceding number. Thus, the next number will be 21 po. Yan. So, ito, use inductive reasoning to make a conjecture. So, consider the following procedure. Pick a number, multiply the number by 8, add 6 to the product, divide sum by 2, then subtract 3. So, that's the procedure. And use inductive reasoning to make a conjecture about the relationship between the size of the resulting number and the original number. So, ayan. So, sundin natin itong procedure na to. So, let's pick a number. So, for example, ang nakuha po nating number is 4. That's our original number. So, next, multiply the number by 8. So, 4 times 8 is 32. So, next procedure is add 6 to the product. So, 32 plus 6 is 38. And divide the sum by 2. So, 38 divided by 2 is equal to 19. Then, subtract daw by 3. Then, subtract 3. So, 19 minus 3 is 16. Original number 4. And then, naging 16 po nung pinalaw natin tong procedure na to. And then, let's try another number. So, let's choose 5. Original number po natin is 5. Then, sundin po natin tong procedure. Multiply by 8. So, 5 times 8 is 40. Diba? And then, add 6. So, this is 46. Divide by 2, 23. Then, subtract 3. So, this will be 20. So, original number 5. So, naging 20. So, dito naman, original number 4, naging 16. So, kung mahalata nyo is parang nag-multiply lang. Yung original number is multiply lang by 4. So, pwede po tayo mag-conclude na given the procedures, the number is 4 times the original number. Mark is a science teacher. Mark is bald. So, ayan. So, pwede po tayo mag-conclude. So, our conjecture. So, therefore, all science teachers are bald. So, ayan. And then, may nakita kang science teacher, si Sir Rainier. And nakita mo na hindi naman siya bald. So, eto pong statements na ginawa mo is false na po siya. Diba? Kasi nakita mo si Rainier na science teacher is hindi naman siya bald, diba? So, ang tawag po doon kay Rainier is the counter example. So, counter example is a statement, is a true statement provided that it is true in all cases and it only takes one example to prove that the conjecture is false. Such example is called counterexample. Used to prove the validity of the conjectures, statements contradicting the claims or conjecture. So, contradicting. So, kinokontra po yung ginawa mong statements. So, verify that each of the following statements is false statement by finding a counterexample. So, meron po tayo dito. So, for all numbers of x, so x of x divided by x is equal to 1. So, ayan. So, maghanap tayo ng counterexample para maging false pong ang statements na to. So, let's try x is equal to 0. So, let x is equal to 0 and substitute. So, 0 divided by 0 is not equal to 1. So, naging false na po itong statements na to. Okay? So, so x is equal to 0 is our counterexample. Therefore, x divided by x is equal to 1 is not true for all value of x. Ito, for all numbers of x, we have the square root of x squared is equal to x. Okay, so hanap naman tayo ng counterexample sa statements na to. So let's try x is equal to -2. So then substitute. So then the square root of kind of -2 squared is equal to -2 times -2 is +4. Okay, square root of 4 is equal to 2. So this is 2, this is -2. So this is not equal. So false na po tong statements na to. So therefore, for all numbers of x, the square root of x squared is equal to x is a false statement. Ayan. So for all numbers of x squared is greater than x. So maghanap po tayo ng counterexample na magpo-prove na or para maging false po ang statements na to. So let's try let x is equal to 1. So then 1 squared is equal to 1. So equal po sila, di ba? Magiging equal to if 1 yung x, so 1 squared 1. So hindi po to greater than 1, kundi 1 is equal to 1. So false na po tong statements na to. So that's for all numbers of x squared is greater than x is false statement. So ayan, dito naman po tayo sa deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is drawing general to specific example or simply from general case to specific case. Deductive starts with general statement or hypothesis and examines to reach a specific conclusions. So deductive reasonings uses facts or general principle. Or simply deductive reasoning is from general to specific po. Okay? So let's have an example sa deductive reasoning. So if a number is divisible by 2, then it must be even. So 12 is divisible by 2. So therefore, 12 is an even number. So ayan. Example number 2. All birds have feathers. Ducks are birds. So pwede mag-conclude na ducks have feathers. So ayan po. That's deductive reasoning. Example number 3. Quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. Square have 4 sides. So, therefore, we can conclude that the square is quadrilateral. Okay? Example number 4. All Filipino heroes are brave. Andres Bonifacio is a Filipino hero. So, ano yung pwede maging conclusion natin dito? So, therefore, we can conclude that Andres Bonifacio po is brave kasi po siya ay isang Filipino hero. So, ayan, mag-quiz po tayo kung naiintindihan ba yung pinagkaiba ng inductive and deductive reasoning. So, determine whether each of the following arguments is an example of inductive reasoning or deductive reasoning. So, pwede nyo po ito i-pause na video para sagutan po itong A, B, C, D. So, tinan nyo lang po kung identify nyo po ito kung ito ba ay inductive reasoning or deductive reasoning. Okay? Sagutan natin. Sa letter A, Miss Iya is pretty. She is a math teacher. Therefore, all math teachers are pretty. What is this, inductive or deductive? So this is inductive reasoning. Next, letter B. All members of the club can use club's pool. Diana is a member of the club. So Diana can use the pool. So yan. All members. So nag-generalize ka po. Then sa hulihan is Diana. So specific. So this is deductive reasoning. General to specific. Letter C. The teacher gave the students easy tests or quizzes every week. Therefore, you can conclude that the next quiz will be easy. Ayan. So, this is inductive reasoning. Last, letter D. All students are eligible to be in the dean's list. You are a student. You are eligible. So, this is yan, deductive reasoning po. Okay. So, that's the end of our video.